your born day, then happy born day to you. Um, just wanted to drop in and try to start making shorter chat videos to see if it will hold your attention or if there are any particular commentary that you'd like to discuss. Always drop down in the chat. I appreciate it. I know I realized, like, I don't even be asking for subscribers. So thank you to all of my new subscribers because I did not ask for you, but you have been more than a Christmas gift. You're an appreciation for Kwanzaa. And while we, Black folks celebrate certain and different um, religious holidays, I'll say my family, we celebrate Kwanzaa. We don't buy gifts because that's materialism, and we don't participate in that. But there was a topic that I wanted to discuss a few weeks ago, and the topic has grown, and it has actually gotten above me now because the first part of the the topic was that I wanted to discuss how Gen X has left the chat when it comes to becoming grandparents and how Gen Z has decided not to become parents. And I think that's the most mature decision made by any individual, if not since humanity has been started. Because we're realistically sitting back and saying, and not we, those people who've made this choice, they realistically said, I have no value to add to this world by bringing a child into it. Why not, do that? And I am just so like in awe and grateful and appreciative to that experience because if you're a young person and the more that I am having conversations with relatives, I'm starting to realize like, okay, we don't talk about how like we're really one good foot out of slavery, and I mean when I say that the enslavement, so it's like, our generation is like the first generation that are like out here having children or not having children, not by being forced, not because it's fun or because people told you they were going to participate or they were going to help you out, or because, it's cute to have a baby on your hip, somebody who could wear matching outfits with you, or they're not having children because, it's a fad. Like they're really deciding consciously not to have children. And that's really big, especially coming from a person who um, grew up where most women were SA'd or, some type of A happened where there was grape involved and, the children derived from that. So the fact that our ancestors, in my opinion, are like, sitting back and rejoicing because they're like, wow, you guys have really decided to not continue to make this world go round with your labor pains and all of the responsibilities that come along with being a parent. And people don't understand the importance of educating yourself before becoming a parent because of that, the admiration it has to take for your community to sit back and generously, acknowledge that they are not participating in this. So when I go to this page here, one was because I'm gonna actually provide data because I love opinions, but data is facts, and facts can't be challenged. So one of the things that I've noticed here is that um, it says Gen X is the largest wealth gap of any generation, and it means retirement is going to be a nightmare for them. And then I have another that says few teens are wife, to be pregnant. Oh, they like people out here who are not a slave, then and tired of capitalism. And it's one thing when you have a generation of women who are not having children because they're in relationships where that's a decision that they made before. But I'm talking about people not accidentally getting pregnant no more. They're not they having mistake pregnancies anymore. And when I say that, not that none of our children are mistakes, but just the fact that you were young and you thought you could manage it all by yourself. Like everybody's looking back and saying, yeah, we learned a lot from you guys. You think you were just a train wreck coming. No, we watched what you did and you have made us realize we have no business thinking about taking on that type of responsibility. So for those people, I want to say congratulations because I think that is very, very, very admirable. It's not too many people who would slow down, take their time to acknowledge that uh, they don't want something just because everybody else has it. They want it because it's what's best for them. And I'm glad that people are not deciding to keep spending money on Jordans and baby showers. They're starting to realize that they do need to accept life outside of the the pits of poverty and the thresholds of parenting and how it can derail your life or slow down your life or stop your life, etc. And I think that most of us are excited that you know we're making that impact because even though you may not hold yourself accountable because you're not the one who's making a decision and I have children. The fact that people are watching our generation and they're realizing, hey, just because you bump up with somebody don't mean that y'all should be making babies together. And I am just so grateful to the mental peace that I feel like my community receives from not having children just because you know you can. It's okay to wait. And that is just like fabulous. Um, and then the last statistic that I wanted to provide. Hold up, wait a minute. It was one more, and the first statistic was provided by. What was this first stat? And this was Fortune magazine. The second, and that was the one about Gen X not having, any money, can't retire. The second article was about why teens aren't having sex, and that is from USA Today. And the last article, which is the most recent one that just started to read, and like, I'm going to talk about this, because it correlates with the other conversation. Kind of put a lot of pressure on our, Gen X and A's to like not have children. And I'm happy that somebody's listening because children aren't an accessory. They aren't the new handbag, and they don't go out of season. They're always, a responsibility. You can't just put it up on the shelf. You have to take care of it. You have to feed it, encourage it. There's just so much involved with parenting. So for that reason, I'm so grateful that we have a generation of thinkers who are making decisions to not have children and not just bump up against somebody and be like, oh, hey, I bumped up on you. Oh, yeah, me too. All right, let's have a baby. No. Mm-mm. No, no, no. Good job. It's too many children out here that have been created based on like uh you know you know bumping teeth. Now you got a whole child. That's not okay. That's not okay. Children need to come from a place of love and parenting and not just from being um a decision that you made. You just happen to be out, and because you were out that night, y'all got a whole responsibility that you can't change your mind about, or can't derail for your future. So the last statistic was from the Teen Vogue stories, and that was the most interesting. Why? Because unwanted children, 2,000 un I'm not going to say that word. I'm going to say unplanned for childbirths since Roe v. Wade has been overturned. And I know my page is a lot of fun because it is, but it is about my perspective, and one of the perspectives that I do have being involved in my love for the law. um, Ironically, as I laugh and cackle, and Ebony K. Williams, as she said it costs more money to practice law in North Carolina, or to keep her law license active, than it did to even just start over. So she's like, why pay to be a practicing attorney when it doesn't matter? I still have my credentials. And that's the same thing that I feel. People think that just because you have credentials or you don't have credentials, it doesn't matter whether you do or don't have credentials. Your experience is what gives you the ability to speak on something. So, with someone who has a background in the legal field, I would like to mention how Roe v. Wade has afforded us an opportunity to get this article provided by Teen Vogue explaining that not only X not afford to have children and can't afford to retire or to eat dinner, breakfast, or lunch, and how Gen Y can't afford to even live with their parents. And then Gen Alpha couldn't think about what a baby would look like for nobody if it was 40 years in advance. So, with all of this information, we get this beautiful article about how people are still, I say people, women are struggling with there's still 32,000 children that were born as a result of not having access to a decision or choice. That is a whole community. That's a whole neighborhood of people. A whole community of people have been created with no entire thought on what the future each other. We have a whole process here. So, as I was saying, I was reading the article, and the thing that got me to stop was the comments. Why? Why not? Because it's always about the comments. But it basically says here that, as of Roe v. Wade, there was a few cases that didn't make your attention because we've been too distracted, not paying attention to the fact that women have lost their rights to terminate a fetus, right? Something that we've been doing since this country's inception of its Americanism, and freeing black folk out of slavery and civil rights and all of that stuff. All of the hassles that most other cultures have the same weight that they carry, right? These stories here are so horrendous that the comments are in finally pro-choice. Do you understand? People are so sick and tired of y'all trying to force children onto child protective services, the police, And at this point, people are saying, even though I'm not pro choice or I'm not pro, and this is the comments that I'm gathering, even though the people are saying, hey, I'm not pro choice, I'm not pro, I'm anti, all I'm saying is, look at here. If 32,000 people did not want to have children and y'all did not give them an option because you reversed Roe v. Wade in those decisions and those situations, that just creates a whole community of people that are not going to be given any attention or lack thereof, maybe the very minimal. Do you understand how hard it is to provide attention to just yourself? So if you're just providing attention to just one person, that's hard to afford to feed that one person, to clothe that one person, to educate that one person. And then don't let them be black because Lord knows. And most of this, I feel like it's going to affect our culture because in any way, any shape, these people, they're going to find a way to terminate, or DNR a fetus when it's optional for someone of of non-color because they can afford it. My father used to always say to me, like, you can get whatever you want, you just got to pay for it. So don't think that terminations are not still accessible to these 32,000 people. They're just not accessible if you are and poor poor and more than often poor. So, I'm grateful that people are starting to wake up and they're realizing that having children is nothing but keeping the gravy train going for, feeding all of the 1%, while the 99% are the ones down here paying the taxes. And these comments is what got me started. And I basically just want to read a few because, I don't agree with a lot of things that some, of our people may read right. And, especially when it comes to uh, Roe v. Wade. However, I feel like a lot of people are understanding that the whole purpose of reversing Roe v. Wade is to give y'all a whole bunch of children. Did they reverse any of the other legal decisions? I mean, they didn't even reverse gay marriage, but they pulled back an option for you to be able to receive a termination in the most black populated states and cities around the US of A's, where blood, sweat, and tears is worth more money than going to school and getting a degree. People rather see you sweat, bleed, cry because it's a financial benefit that you can't compensate for. It's what is the word they call it? Priceless. Living growing up in poverty is priceless. Raising your children in poverty is priceless. Having generation after generation after generation of children grow up and be raised in poverty is priceless. They don't call it projects for no reason. It's there to entrap you and to make you a piece of data to see if you can get out, if you're going to be the mouse with the cheese or you're going to be the mouse that's like, fuck that cheese, I'm going outside. Because 10 times out of 10, most of the mouse, they want the cheese. Even though they don't realize that this is only going to feed you for today, they want that piece of cheese. And that is the mindset that has gotten us in places where we think that we were having children of a financial benefit to ourselves, thinking that just because you filed some taxes that your children was going to pay for, that was going to, give you 92% of your income from the year. No, I don't care how many tax returns you file. You can't get enough of a tax return on no child earned income credit that is going to afford you enough money to raise that child. Even if you had a full-time nanny, a part-time nanny, a full-time homeschool aide, you were they was in boarding school, none of it. Mm-mm. Because children, the talent, the funds, the information that you need in order to have tenacious, bright, smart children who are not swayed by everybody that comes past their their entertainment, they're hard to come by because you got to have those type of parents. If all of the parents are non-thinkers, then they're going to raise non-thinking children. So that's why, as thinking parents, we have to accredit ourselves as mothers. We have to thank ourselves as aunties. We have to thank ourselves as the rich auntie, the happy auntie, whatever, the single auntie, because y'all helped influence a culture, a whole generation of people to say, I'm not having no baby so I can be posted up at a gender reveal. What the fuck are y'all gonna do for me after this gender reveal is over? After this baby shower is said and done, who is going to help me take care of this kid? And I am so grateful to be a part of the influence because raising a child by yourself, let alone with 15 people, it's not easy at all. And do you think creating more children in situations where they don't have not two parents, let alone two family members, let alone one, and then the government will supplement and give income to those who take care of others' children that they, entrap and take from parents, but y'all won't even help the parents who are taking care of the kids themselves. Isn't that terrible? And the cycle is so vicious, and we've experienced it for so long that we don't even get upset anymore. Like black mouths are tired, black moms are tired, black aunties are tired. Everybody's sick and tired of it. So they just like, you know what? The way y'all they be denying y'all medical care, the way they don't listen to your problems, the way Nurse Jackie, I mean, not Lord, because there was a show called Nurse Jackie, but the way Dr. Jackie and Nurse Morgan is, I would rather have a Nurse Jackie than a Dr. Jackie. Because even though Nurse Jackie was, if you've ever seen the show, it used to be on HBO, and it was, Nurse Jackie, she suffered from a substance abuse issue, but she still had heart. She had a desire to do the work that she did. She wanted to be in the field of helping others. So, because she managed to be in that type of field that she was in, she did not just use or waste her opportunity. She still was able to give and to love genuinely what she did. She didn't care if you had on a full set of press-ons or blowout. She was still going to help try to help you. You know what I mean? And it's like we've become so detached from reality that the people are speaking, the black women are speaking, the children are speaking. They said, "We not having no more kids for y'all. Mm-mm. I don't need no income tax for check that bad. I don't need no photos of me and my little mini me in an outfit that's dressed alike. I don't need, you know what I mean? And like that is, to God be the glory. Like, and I just want to say thank you to Gen X for letting, not making, but like, allowing Gen Z and Gen Alpha to see that like we worked hard, and y'all didn't know the struggle, but y'all see that America is a struggle. It ain't got nothing to do with being in poverty. If you're in America, you're two paychecks away from poverty. You think you sitting cute because you got your little car note, miss them car payments, don't go to work. And that's a story time for another day for me. But I just basically, want to encourage and inspire and to say thank you to the younger generation who's not out here, just willy and nilly in it. Like, cause we was dropping it like, fried chicken was not hot. Like, I mean, it was out of control back in our day. And like my daughter said to me earlier, she's like, yeah, y'all got us, abstaining because, y'all set it off for the 99s and the 2000s. And I know it's true. It really is because we really did set it off. So I am happy that y'all realize that having children is a choice. It's not a decision. And you can't just make a split decision and think that it's not going to change your life. It's a choice that you have to make. It's not just a decision. Once you decide to have a child, you have chosen to make that child a priority and not just, you know, yourself. So, congratulations. The comments was jumping. I wanted to read some of them, but I just I'm just actually so elated. But maybe I'll post a few of them in the comments. But I think it was just disgusting to me how people really was like mad, like, oh, well, you shouldn't, what's the word? You shouldn't terminate a fetus. But I think it's just who is going to help this fetus once the fetus turns into a feeding teenager. And on that note, I'm out of here. Hope you got your energy today. Hope that you fed yourself a knowledge that you can't receive by taste, touch, or the first five senses. Is something you have to have as a sixth sense in order to understand the importance of it. Normally I do an affirmation. I'm tired. I've been busting out a lot of life issues. So if you haven't read the book The Four Agreements, I would say pick it up. It is definitely a read. I mean, it will shut your mouth in like the first two pages. So and it's a very quick read. It's very deep though, so if you're not a person where you're spiritually comfortable, I wouldn't say start reading it because you might, run from it. But continue to be positive. Don't let nobody make you a miserable baby mama. All of these women is jealous that young women aren't having kids no more. They're mad because they're not, like if the, you don't like desire a BBL that much that you feel like, oh, let me have a kid so I can get a BBL, or like y'all don't care. And I am so happy for you. Like you don't know how happy I am. I just air hugs to all of y'all who just is shutting it down and not just using your uterus because it's a benefit that you can have for 9 months. Because once that 9 months over, honey, that's just the beginning. So I hope y'all have a wonderful supportive week. It is day 3 of Kwanzaa. What is I know my first 2 days always my favorite. Umoja and Kuji chaga. Um so once I get past those days, because the names are so, but I always forget the principles, but I just remember the importance of not saving money, but sharing knowledge. Money and knowledge are never comparable. So I'm going to read off the quick principles of Kwanzaa. The first one is Umoja, which is unity, to strive for and to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Kuji Chagalia, it's self determination, which is to define and I'm sorry, which is to define and name ourselves as well as to create and speak for ourselves. Day 3 Number 6, 7, 8. Yeah, day 3 is Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility. And today's message is to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and to solve them together. So if you want to solve some problems with your brothers and sisters, today is the day. It's day 3 of Kwanzaa. It's the most important day before our Black Candles ceremony. These first 3 are read. Read up on it. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. I hope that there's some positivity, love, and some joy floating around through your life. If not, share some. Don't be greedy. Peace out. I need it.